Hey babies, it's me, 7K.
And it's also me, Rain, you little giant man.
And welcome to the returning episode of Set in Stone.
This episode's theme is strength. Last time we did children's book, which I won. Originally this episode was about loss and it ended in a tie, but the recordings were lost in a flood.
Yeah, which is a misfortunate one because that was the best one yet. I think I might put up the stories from that one up onto my website. But in the meantime, we'll just do this one and pretend like that one never happened. Rain, you can go first with your little prompt diddly-doos.
Alrighty. As the theme is strength, I have chosen, for your writing prompt, you must write about the strength it requires to overcome mental illness.
Ah, that's a good one. Wow, that's the first good one you've suggested, Rain.
Thanks.
Give yourself a little pat in the back. Mine's not gonna be as good as that one. So your name is Johnny Dragon Muscles, and you have to end World War II by beating up Hitler. That's your story. You gotta use your strength. I couldn't think of anything. With your vague concepts as themes, always kind of hard.
Loss. Identity.
Yep. Well, let's see how this one turns out. Are the stories going to be strong, or are they going to not be? Find out in 1 hour.
They're gonna be fucking weak because we're writing them and we're bad.
Okay, we're back, and it's time to read Rain's shitty story called,
Fuck you, you son of a bitch.
What?
You haven't even read it yet. How can you make judgments based on just the shitty title?
It's called Dragon v. Hilter and Greg, okay? Greg is, it's following the normal route of things as Greg has appeared in this one. Was that... Just asking ahead of time, is that on purpose or is it an accident like what you'll see in mine?
Oh, I definitely put Greg in on purpose.
I wish I had your intentionality. Soldier, the general said to me, you have but one duty in this fune bright day. My back stiffed, a bead of sweat rolled down my forehead, named Olaf. The general continued, you must flee into Nazi Germany and consume Hitler in your giant deadly jaws. He continued, Johnny Dragon Muscles, fly, you glorious piece of Jewish garbage. With that, me and Olaf flew into the sky. We were located approximately 100 miles away from the Nazi headquarters, where Hitler would soon meet his demise with the clutches of my jaws. Olaf spoke to me. Wait, is Olaf his forehead?
Yeah.
Just...
He's the character. I actually introduced two characters by accident with typos.
That's good. Olaf spoke to me. Johnny Dragon Muscles, do you think we can handle such an important duty? Of course we can. I'm the strongest dragon of them all. There is not a single thing I can't do, especially with you at my side. And with that, I picked up my speed, flying through the clod that sealed the mountain ahead of me. While I chuckled, filled with glee. Johnny, Olaf began. Son would... Okay, Sonic wouldn't have chuckled. Shut the fuck up. It had been an hour, and the Nazi headquarters were in my sight. All I had to do was murder a small human like a millions I have my thousands of years of life. I began unleashing my hellfire and crushing jaws on the inhabitants of this building and the surrounding area. I was instructed to only murder it. That's one horrible man, but I figured since I was Jewish, I would murder them all. Okay. The innocent and guilty both trembled in fear as they saw their friends and family slaughtered before their very eyes. The screams of these humans filled my ears like a symphony. Every moment was pure bliss. Suddenly, I felt a great pain in my abs. My pervious, perfect washboard abs. I wasn't called dragon muscles for nothing. Okay? I looked down, and to my horror, I saw a giant sticking out of me. A giant being a long spear-like weapon that is used to slaughter dragons. I looked at the man responsible for this. He was there, quarters my size, and filled...
3/4
Shut the fuck
my
up.
size, not there.
My size, and filled with muscles almost as large as mine. I pulled the giant from my abs and threw it at the man. He swiftly dodged it and began running towards me. Johnny! Olaf screamed. Look out, my dude! I attempted to head in a course that would carry me far away from this monster man, but my abs cried in pain. Pain unlike anything I had experienced before in my life. Greg, smash evil hellspawn. The monster man screamed as he lifted a rock without breaking his stride. Johnny, you can give up now, but only if you want to fail your country. You're right. I'll have to enter super... Okay. You're right. I'll have to enter Okay. You're right. I'll have to enter super muscle mode if I want to beat this guy. I screamed for 30 goddamn minutes. This confused the monster into stopping, and suddenly I was surrounded by a golden aura, and my muscles became sharp and pointy. Kamikaze fire! I yelled.
Kamehame fire, you fucking...
I thought it was like kamikaze, because, this is World War II. Anyway, I yelled and murdered the Greg man. Wait, was Greg the monster man?
Yes, he literally said Greg smash evil hellspawn.
Okay. I thought that meant like he was like, okay, never mind. I thought Greg was trying to defeat the monster man, but whatever. Johnny, because, whatever, fuck it. Johnny, your muscles are still bleeding. You have to hurry and finish this mission. You're right, I can't sit around here and doing nothing anymore. I will kill Hitler. I took off for the Hitler Tower, angrier than I had ever been. Blood rushing out of my giant ab wound and through my brain. Hitler, I screamed. Yes, Mr. Dragon Muscles, I see you out there. Hitler leaped from the tower and landed on my back. He wielded a giant Giant, and I most deadly tool to my kind. Johnny, now's your chance. Slam him into the ground so that he dies. I followed Olaf. Olaf's sisters. Wait, what?
Olfa. Another character introduced through a typo.
Okay. I followed Olaf's sister's advice. I flipped over so that Hitler and my back were pointed towards the torn earth and my head toward the skit. That's what the Nazis' tower name actually weighs. 3, 2, 1, slamba. Hitler and myself, as well as Olaf and Ulfa, smashed into the ground. Fool! Olaf screamed. I immediately realized why. The giant Gian, or that Hitler wielded pierced my flesh and came out of my abdomen wound from earlier. That perfect timing and placement on my part, though. Olaf, Ulfa, I did it. I climbed the unclimbable mountain. I've done what no one else could. I murdered the Hitler. Yes, Johnny, you have. Wait, how did he murder him?
You just slammed him into the fucking ground.
Okay, I murdered the Hitler. Yes, Johnny, you have. Olaf chuckled. What's so funny? Olaf began breaking away from my skull. He climbed down my body and pushed it aside. This, he said, as he began mutating. Okay. Okay. This, he said as he began mutating with Hitler's pile of bones and flesh. Now I am the new Nazi overlord. Due to my super dragon muscles mode and Hitler's body turned into a giant... Wait, what? Hey. Olaf, how could you do this? Ulfa screamed. Shit the fick up, you stupid cunt. You years I have lived on this monster's forehead. I witnessed him murder my family and countless other innocents, just as you have. Jews are all the same, and you know it, Ulfa. If you were in your right mind, you too would hate this beast. The new Olaf Nazi pulled the giant Gian from my torso and used it to behead me. I am now in Jewish heaven and living happily. I hate the Nazis. They're really bad. Have a good day, children. No, I don't know if they ever killed Nazi Olaf, but Ulfa is in a Jewish hell because she isn't Jewish. Goodbye.
I'm good at writing endings.
Okay. What compelled you to write that twist ending?
I needed more shit to write.
Why?
I don't know. I had to if I didn't have to leave to go to fucking my school, I would have probably, I wanted to expand a little bit more. Like Olaf and Ulfa were cursed to remain a part of Johnny's body. Like they went to try to kill him, but it didn't work.
Okay.
And Olaf harbored feelings of hatred toward Johnny, but Ulfa Stockholm syndromed.
Ah.
That's the verb.
Okay. Now let me send you my story, because I forgot how to be professional.
Yeah. Alright, now time for the 7K story, titled Journey of Jacob. Journey of Jacob.
Yeah, there you go. Didn't mess up the title for once.
Yeah, unlike me. Jacob was like any normal man. He breathed, he sat, he was a little fat, he had a job, he was good at playing tennis. That was just as things always were. He never really had anything to worry about in the grand scheme of things. He was set in life. His parents paid for his needs and gifts. He worked as a dog walker part-time. In reality, he had no need to do this, as his parents would still pay him in economic outpatient care. He did this not out of any economic need, but out of a need for fulfillment. You see, Jacob was dead inside. He suffered from some sort of depression. He's never happy. He wants to die. Everything in his life is a darn drain. He has to exert all the energy in his body just to lift himself out of his bed. Every day, in his central past century, about 6 years, has bled together into one big gray indistinct blob. He tells no one of his daily... he tells noon of his daily struggle. This is his personal battle, one that he is losing. Something has to change if Jacob is to make it to the next central past century. Jacob needs to stop playing a passive role in his own life. He needs mad gains in a spiritual sense. Greg stopped by this morning. Time to test out my theory. Jacob grabbed his scalpel and zip ties and walked into the living room. Hey Greg, my special little guy. I'm here to make a delivery. I'm here to receive. Okay, time to sign this piece of paper. Okay, Jacob the comb of Joe Cobb was next to his pen in his pocket. So when he went to grab the pen, the comb brushed his hand. Ow, my hand is scratched. Oh, now you tell me. Why am I bleeding? I don't know. You want me to leave? Are you going to sign? I will hesitate in telling you the next part, but here I go. Okay, Greg, I won this pen in a contest for dog walking, so I will sign with it even if I am bloody. Jacob signed the paper and got his box. Greg left and Jacob walked back into the kitchen and put the scalpel and zip ties back up. He opened up the box and took out the meditation pad candles, special Buddhist candles. I like how we both, like, when we fuck up typing something, we're just like, that's another word for this, by the way.
Yeah.
And put them in a circle on ground. After hours of meditation, Jacob finally ascended into the spiritual realm. It was quiet there, peaceful in its way. The gray fields with spanks of pastel blue was strangely mesmerizing. Jacob could sit there forever if he was not on a mission. He rose from his spot in the gray abyss and moved toward the shadow that fell in the distance. Surrounded by memories of his pain-filled past, he weaved through the tapestry of this realm deeper and deeper into the dark spiral before him. Every fiber of his being wanted to retreat like always. No being belongs in this place, but he powered through to the end. Fully immersed in pain, he saw the creature he sought to vanquish, his crippling depression. He drew his flaming spirit sword. Oh. The fire sword.
Yeah.
He drew his flaming spirit sword from his heart and thrust it into the eternal beast's head. Light danced around him and filled him with glory. He felt right in this world for once. He knew not what he'd do from now on, but he knew this thing would finally be off his back. The light became brighter and more brilliant by the second. His ethereal eyes burned, but on this Monday he could see something in the flame like rays. Jacob lay on the front of his mat, the kitchen floor tainted with his blood, which flowed forth from the wound in his eye made by the scalpel. Here our hero lies, never rise again. Sadness can never reach those who are dead. The end?
Question mark?
That's pretty good.
Eh?
Bong, bong, bang, boom, bong.
Eh? Eh? So, which story do you think is better?
I actually liked the journey of Jacob.
I didn't like the middle paragraph.
Yeah, that's a good point. A third of the story is trash.
As opposed to yours where, okay, all of yours is garbage. to be honest. But that's my fault for giving you a shitty prompt.
Yeah. Also, I had to like finish it 10 or 20 minutes early because math class.
Yep. And yours is still twice as long as mine is.
Probably. But who do you think won?
Well, according to the ranking system, right? Yours.
Oh, right. We have a ranking system.
Yeah, I invented a new ranking system so that we wouldn't just sit here debating for 3 hours every single fucking time. So basically, there's 25 points for how good the story is. So, Rain, I give you about a... It could be worse. It could be that first story, so I'll give you a 2 out of 5. So that's 10 points. Mine, how would you rank the quality of my story overall?
Overall? Okay, so it's an out of 5 thing. Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'd also give yours.
Actually, it's out of 5. That's just a way to look at it. You can anything that could be broken off into 25.
Yeah, I'd also give yours about a 2 out of 5.
I think that's a bit unfair, but whatever. You're the rank here. How about how well they fit to the prompt? You hit the nail on the head. That's a 5 out of 5 prompt. You fit it perfectly.
Okay, your prompt was Jacob suffers from depression. He needs strength to overcome it. He didn't really overcome it though. He just killed himself. That
was him overcoming it.
He overcame it by killing himself.
Yes. You told me while we were writing the story that I get bonus points for him killing himself.
I never said that.
Yes, you did. You said bonus points for him killing himself at the end. So I said, okay.
Oh. Okay. Okay, I wouldn't give I'd go with probably a 4 out of 5.
Okay. So things that are so that means that so then we take away maybe 25 points for any time when there's just an individual letter that we didn't do anything with, because the entire point of this thing is that if you make a typo, you got to roll with it. That's the name of the game. So if you just put down a letter or made a typo and didn't do anything with it, right? Mm-hmm. You did that a couple of times, I think.
It's true.
So
I did.
I'd give you. I put 1 there, so you'd get 5 points off.
All right.
Then for sentences that are just you can't even understand what meaning is supposed to be derived from it. Do you think that I had anything like that at any point?
You also had a few different typos just scattered about, but not as many as I did. Maybe I should get 10 taken off and you should get 5.
Well, because the name of the game isn't like if you spelled stuff wrong, right? It's more or less, did you do stuff with the typos that you made?
True.
Now, I think you did that most of the time throughout as well. It's just a couple of times, really, that you didn't do anything with it. So that's why I'd say that yours is about a 5, even though,
It's like
you rolled
HW hesitate every day. A lot of words like instead of into space the.
That doesn't. I was talking more or less like spelling things, like like inventing new words, or taking it in a different direction. Basically, like a good example would be like in the first one. Mine would be like my first story would be a good example of
rolling with the typo.
Yeah, exactly. Where everything in that every single time when I made a typo, it was world building. And then a good example of what would be a 5 out of 5 shit would be yours that time, because you didn't care at all. You just kept on making typo after typo. It was barely readable.
It wasn't readable. Now you don't have anything incomprehensible in it.
Okay, let me go through the calculations. That would mean it's a tie. Great.
That makes next episode more interesting at the very least.
Yeah, but next episode is... okay, so now that it's tied, that means that the next episode is going to be a tie-breaking episode. Tiebreakers work by giving us both the same prompt, and then we go through it the same way, and then we're going to have a moderator come at the end and choose which one they think is better, instead of both of us looking at it in a biased way, really. And... because the next episode is the 4th episode, every 4 episodes is a special condition round, where we along with whatever we do, we put in we have a list of extra challenges that as right before we go into the challenge, we'll hit a random number generator and it'll choose what challenge is going to be added to our normal challenge that we have every week, and that's worth double points, and so are tiebreakers. So that means that next week, not only will it be the first special condition, it's also going to be the first tiebreaker, which means that it's going to be about 4 points that next week. So
time to kill ourselves, boy.